Good evening, I hope you are well. It has just gone 8 o'clock here in the United Kingdom, and this is the hour that I'm now going to tell you goes out throughout the night. So this is the one that goes over to America. This is the one that will go over through Europe. This is the one you'll watch through every single hour over the night, which means if you like it, I would definitely get it, because who knows what will be here in the morning. Already from our launch hour at 6 o'clock, over 40% of your one-day special stock has now already gone. And this is a one-day special with little tricks and little favours that's going to give you. It's not just what you see on the counter for this one-day special. There is so much more involved as well, and we'll get to that shortly. We are talking Crafts 2's 22nd birthday today and this one-day special, which means, first of all, we've spent a bit of budget and got some balloons. I like them a lot. And we're also going to get free gifts as well. And talking about free gifts, yes, he's here as seamlessly, John. He's here as well. He is the best gift of all. The gift that keeps on giving. It's John Lockwood, everyone. Woohoo!
Hello.
Yeah! A Radio 2 round of applause. See, you've got a Steve Rock round of applause.
I know, and here's me thinking, because this is repeated, we've got to behave in this hour.
I know.
No. Hello, it's nice to see you, and hello.
But on a serious note,
yeah,
as it were, this is the gift that keeps on giving. It
is, yeah. We've tried to. I've got to say this, and you know, people would expect me to, but Crafts 2 is a family company. I mean, I know. I keep bringing poor Julia into it. It's only because she's directly opposite me in my eye line. But Julia has known Peter and Jane for 20 years?
No, about 15.
About 15 years. You know, they've been in the industry for 30 years in total. Crafts 2's been going for 22 years. And they are a small family business who really, really work hard. And they want to give back to crafters because they are crafters.
That's true.
It came from Jane's passion. She had a wool shop, she got into paper craft, and all of it exploded from Jane's passion of crafting. So with this, they wanted to do the birthday. So, you know, I'd got some ideas as to what we should do as a free gift. And I phoned Peter and went, well, I've got those Crafts 2 dies. It's about 100 designs. We should have enough of those. Let's give everybody one of those who buys on the show.
And that's what you're going to get as well. So with every purchase of the one-day special, as a free gift, you will be getting either one of these.
It's everything on the show.
Oh, it's everything on the show?
Yeah, it's everything on the show.
Also, it's not just...
No, it's not just a one-day special. No, the paper pad is exclusive to the one-day special. The paper download, the free gift is they've given it to everyone that makes a purchase on the show. One per person, obviously.
So if you make anything, you buy anything on the show, you are going to get either one of these. We've got new happy hours on the show. You're either going to get one of these as well, or there's about another 70 that you may be sent across the board as a free gift. You will only get one, but there is a lucky dip of 100 to choose from. They're worth $4.99 on their own. Now, something else is the gift that keeps on giving, and this is timeless, what we're looking at now. And it's also exclusive to us here at the Craft Store. It was a world launch at 6 o'clock. I love a world launch. It was a world launch at 6 o'clock, never been seen before. When you've placed your order and you get your confirmation email, it will also come with an attachment. It will come with a little link that's on there, which is a little PDF file.
That will actually be in your account.
Oh, it's in your account.
It's in your account where it lists the products that you've ordered. There's a little button in there which will say this, and it will say download. And you just click that, and it will automatically follow the rules, and it will download it into your thing if you get the ODS.
I love this. If you're getting your one-day special, you're also going to get a PDF of this paper pad that you're looking at now. Now, as you said in the early show, John, this is printed on your, as in the standard paper, photocopy paper, as it were.
This is printed on paper that we got from the Bury of the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
For $2.99 for a ream of 500.
That's the one.
Because I actually asked Sam in between shows, where did this paper came from? And he told me, and he said how much it was. Because, you know, I don't want to... How many times do people show you downloads and things, and they've printed it on premium photo paper quality?
True.
No, this is printed at my house on the cheap stuff that I use. Because I do. And if I want to do something big with it, I spray glue it onto a sheet of card.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's as simple as that. If you've got a card printer that prints card, print it onto card. But it's not just stripes. If you look closely, you'll see it's a vintage stripe. It's a paper pad design that I've designed and put together. So it's not all the same colour. It's not just done on an Excel spreadsheet. It's a texture like it's fabric. It is vintage in there. And, you know, you can use it as many times. I mean, that is my favourite. That bluey, cornflower blue check, sort of purpley colour, is just my absolute favourite in them.
And you can use, this is not a time-limited document that will run out after so long. This is a document that once you press download, it will download to your PC or Mac that you've got at home. So it will download to your big computer, and it will be there till you delete it.
Yes. If you order on an iPad, if you're an iPad, you don't have a computer, just click the download link and it will link it through onto your tablet. Onto all of your things, so you've got it. And I would strongly suggest, click the download link, get that, and then it's yours. Yours to do with as you want to. But again, even if you struggle to print things and don't have a printer now, you might get one for Christmas, you might get one in the future. You can then email it to a friend and get them to print it for you. It's yours once you've got it.
Email it to work and use the work printers.
That's what I used to do.
Anyone does that. But no one's in. So that's worth $7.99. You're getting a $4.99 free gift as well. And also, I'm going to add it in now, and then we'll go through the bundle itself. With the money that you're saving, okay, the money that you're saving here, the £8 that you're saving, you are also getting your sentiments for free. So in theory, that is also a free gift. So what you're generally paying for is the brand new John Next Door die and the Gnomes and the Penguin families. All of that today for £53.96, or you can pop it onto flexible payments as well. If you're a Freedom member, £48.56 today is what you're going to be spending, with a £13.40 saving if you're a Freedom member. And I'll pop that onto two interest-free flexible payments of £24 and 28 today. You cannot go wrong. So, what are you getting? Let's look at the stepper card die first. So you're getting a stepper card die. Now, normally when we say a stepper card die, it involves measurements.
Yep.
It involves a lot of numbers. It involves 2 sheets at minimum of A4 card, because you need to do the bits in the middle. Then you need to hide all those bits in the middle, all the gubbins. So you need to put a card around the back to make it look pretty. This is slightly different.
This is
very different.
Very different, because normally when you read stepper card or pop-out card, you know straight away it's going to take a lot of card and it's going to take a lot of space to post. It's going to be expensive. This is a pop-up, so I'll show it you. You see above, that is how it pops out. Yeah, but that is it posted. Look how small that profile is. And that is a C6 size. That means it will go. OK, I've gone a bit mad with his head over the top. But that is a C6 size that will go in a normal envelope with a normal first or second class stamp on it. And that will post for a normal stamp and a normal price. And the whole construction of this has taken 1 sheet of A4 card.
Which is the best thing? Now, obviously, if you're going to start sticking thousands of flowers onto it, it's going to start bulking it out. But if you go for that 2D design, what would generally be a 2D card, you can now turn it 3D. For example, that would be, sorry, Chris, that would be your 2D card that you're going to do. That would be your card. But now, because of the die itself, you can now make it 3D.
Can you imagine if that didn't fold flat? That would need a box. That would be a small packet at £6 to post.
It would.
You pop it flat like that. Look at that one. I mean, if you put that on its side, Adam, on its base, so you can actually see the profile of it when it's flat, that goes in an envelope. That will fit through without even being a large letter.
It would.
But when it's popped out, you would expect that to be a small packet at £6. That's what we wanted to achieve. And I've got to say, I stole the design. Oh, I love that.
Look
I
at
haven't
that one.
seen that one. That's so clever.
Where did this come from? I've not seen this pile of cards before.
Oh, there's so many. But I stole this from the idea from my friend Maxine, who's one of our angels. And she did it with scoring and measuring and everything last year. And I just said, would you mind, Leslie, sorry, Maxine, because Leslie did that card. Would you mind if I turn it into dice? She went, no, that'd be brilliant. Because it makes it so much quicker. And as we showed earlier, it's less than 5 minutes to put it together.
It really, it is absolutely beautiful. So it goes from flat, then you've got that little, and I think, unless it's been done in the post, but it looks like it's been bent anyway. It's been bent again, so it sort of gives you another structure rather than that rounded edge. It's sort of got that sort of beveled stage
You can
edge.
fold it again. You can fold it in if you are somebody who likes playing with a scoreboard and fold and score that middle one and make it, you can make it zigzag in. You can use the pieces in this to make all sorts of different cards, because you can make boxes and things, and that's just, that one die is the main bit that we've got in there with everything else in the section.
Well, you can do skyscapes and all sorts with this. If I show you the blank one, just so you can see how it looks when it's dyed, that's what you're getting. So each individual bit you cut out, these are the bits that you're going to add in. But as I said before, I can see a ship in there along the way. So you could put a die along the edge of this, like and make it a scalloped edge if you wanted to.
You could put waves across. I've got a lovely die at home that does waves.
That would be.
That would look really good. I could make that into a. I should make that into a new home card for you, shouldn't I? And make it into a ship. It won't ever happen, but the intention's there.
The intention's there. But then you could do waves. You could have your penguins on there with a little iceberg. So you could turn these, because these are separate, you could cut a little iceberg. As long as it's got that fold in, it doesn't matter what you do to it.
Well, what you actually do is you take the die, if you want, cut that again. So just don't start measuring and going, what size of piece do I need to go on that front? Take that die, cut it again and cut the tabs off.
And that is the size.
And that's the size. You could then draw on that a mountain range and stick it on. Or anything you want, put it on, like say, make an iceberg. Don't measure. Life is genuinely too short. I always say, I measured once when I was 13 and I said, well, I'd never do it again. And that's what I do. I want dies to do the work for me. So don't bother going, right, okay, let's put this in the guillotine, or here's a rule, and, oh, that's how many, no. Just use the die to do it, all the work for you. That's what it's there for. That's what I provide them for.
And that's only one element that we're talking about at the moment. That is one of the elements. So that is, you can go through it on its own. The details of that are at the bottom of the screen. £19 and 99 pence. 979160 on its own is what you're looking at there. Looking at your sentiments now. The sentiments are absolutely beautiful. They are sort of... they remind me of a magical Christmas. You know when you get closer to Christmas and there's that channel and all it plays is Christmas films from morning, noon and night?
Yep.
It's got that look.
It has that feel, doesn't it, of that 24-hour Christmassy movie channel. Yeah, it really does. The middle one to me, that Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, is such a classic. That is, I see that everywhere. And I've never been able to have it as a stamp, and I just wanted it to be something a bit different. And it just works so well. It's got almost an Art Deco feel, but every sentiment is almost from a different era. And like you say, they've got a real professional edge to them.
They really have, and once they work so well with the gnomes and the penguins that we've got here as well. They sort of give it that added flair. With things like, and you sort of play on words, isn't it? With the penguins, you could have Let It Snow. Then you could start putting them into shaker cards, and you could go all out
You
with
really
this.
could.
There
You
is
could go
so much
crazy.
scope that you are looking at. And once again, no pun intended, we're only touching the tip of the iceberg. Quite proud of that. From there, just for you, Chris, from there, you go down. Where do you want to go first? Penguins or gnomes? Gnomes? We're going gnomes. Our director's got a fancy for penguins at the moment. I think
they both have, to be honest.
So our gnomes, you're getting the smaller gnomes, which are all in scale. You're also getting the large gnomes as well. If I flip this around, you can see them stamped out as well, just so you can see what their actual size is like. We showed you in the first hour, very easy to colour. You're going to get your sentiments in there. Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, season's greetings. Once again, gnomes can be all year round. Gnomes are... I think I call them snomes. Your gnomes are all year round. They don't have to be just for Christmas. These can be for in the garden, the potting shed, things like that.
You're popping out all sorts, you know, things like that, popping out of plant pots and things. They'll look lovely actually with some new 2J stamps coming, I think, next month or the end of next month. Oh. They'll work really well with that. But the thing is, the only thing in the entire gnomes is one of them that has holly in his hat. And to be quite honest, you could cut that off or cover it with a flower.
Well, yeah, you
that
could.
Is the only sort of festive, definite thing on there.
Well, if you stamped it again and flipped it around, you could do the rest of it. It'd look like a flower.
Yeah, you could. You could easily do. But things like the hat, stripes and a check, they're not necessarily Christmas tartan. I just think these are used all year round. It just happens that they've come out at the sort of Christmas time.
Absolutely, I really do adore them. From there, though, so there's your gnomes that we're looking at. Loving the gnomes. We're loving the gnomes this evening. We're also moving on to penguins. Now, once again, penguins don't just have to be for Christmas. Penguins are for all year round. You're going to get the family of penguins down the bottom, but once again, you tell me on there, apart from the sentiments that say Happy Christmas, where are these Christmas? I know these ones would make cracking little invitations for parties. Shrink plastic, things like that. Valentine's Day cards. You are my little penguin.
Oh.
Oh, you are my little
It
flipper.
would.
Oh.
That's really sweet. You can use them all the time. And the thing that I'd say is for kids' cards, I will not specifically, as a crafter, I would not buy anything that is for children. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes
I
sense.
wouldn't spend my money on things that are specifically for kids. But if I'm called on, I've got these now, if I'm called on to make a card for a kid, I could just put a snowman on it with the holding the present.
Yeah.
Happy 5th birthday, Noah, or whatever. Happy 6th birthday, Molly, and it's done. And I don't have to buy specifics, right? Because to me, craft products really have to go across a lot of different time frames.
Well, that's the thing, man. You want your money to go a long way at the
Yeah.
end of the day. I know this one's the gnomes, but all you have to do is change it for the penguins, and it will work exactly the same. But you've got on there, so you can turn them into birthing cards that you want to. Your penguin parties that you're going to have. Your little flippers. I'm glad I said flippers. That you've got there as well. My producer has just said, like, you've pick me and things like that.
Yes.
She's single and looking, but you've got all these elements that are there that you can use time and time again. And let's be honest, they're quick and easy to colour.
They really are. I'm going to be doing the penguins in the first demo, and I want to show you literally how easy they are to colour. Anyone could do that.
I love these. £53.96 is what you're looking at. 2 flexible payments if you're a Freedom member of £24.28. It is a why not deal, so why don't you pop it in your basket, you little Percy penguin, and start checking them out. If I was you, 723253. I've had a coffee, can you tell? 723253 is your item number. That a pot noodle. You've already found my happy hour for this hour as well. We are looking at your press cuts, die cutting and embossing stencils that we've got in here, and you're also looking at your trees as well. This is your happy hour deal. £14.98 is what you're looking at for this. Shall I bring them down? Save the flare that you've got there. So you've got a beautiful set of trees. If I turn them that way, you'll be able to see the trees slightly better. Oh, these are open. There's your trees that you're getting. So they are full trees that you're getting there as well. And then, I've only just noticed this. Look at that. Look at all of them that you are getting in there. So with that, you're going to be able to create cards that look like this. These look expensive. These look like M&S cards. Or cards that look like this as well. And that's just from your happy hour.
Yeah, I mean, I actually made those yesterday, and they took less than one episode of Voyager.
How long's an
So
episode?
both of that. It's American, isn't it? So it's about 42 minutes. So I'd say they took about 35 minutes to make from scratch, just using those. And I was using scraps of gold, white and red card that I'd got.
So if you know someone that's just starting out, these are the best ways to go. These are the dies that we all talk about. These are your nesting dies. These are essentials, in theory, that we're talking about now. Essentials, because once you've got a decent set of essentials, you've got card bases.
Yep.
You've now got half circles that's in there, and you go right the way down to the tiny ones as well for your tiny little ovals. They're absolutely beautiful. And your trees. We sold out of the trees earlier, but these could be your standing trees.
These could work just as well. They will work in scale with the gnomes. I've got to say, they're just on the happy hour because they're dies that we had a couple of years ago. But these were one of my absolute favourites. Jane picked these, and I absolutely adore these trees. And I was so shocked because I thought we'd sold them out before. And when Peter said, I found some more of those funky trees, I was like, yeah, please, because I absolutely love them.
Because they can pay 40%, as I'm going to tell you, 20% is gone now, 40% has already gone as well. Because you get your stars, you get your trees, paper piece them, you know what you're doing with them, you're absolutely adoring them. They are £14.98, you're saving £18. It's a happy hour deal, which means the price will go back up at the end of this hour as well, assuming there's stock. The stock may all go, who knows. Let's go for a demonstration as well. Let's find out what we're up to first.
Right, so what I said was I want to use the penguins.
Okay.
And I want to show you an easy colouring on those. I've got some. This hour's mainly about the easy colouring, but I want to show you a couple of things and little tips and tricks with the stamps as well, and about masking. But so the first thing is, I want to make a mask because I want to put the penguins stood behind each other.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I'm using here is this is actually transfer tape from Cricut. You know, from my cricket machine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, actually not mine, from Sam's. Don't think he knows that I've actually stolen the last of his
He'll be
transfer tape.
snoozing now.
But I know you do eclipse tape. Is it ellipse tape?
Something
from,
like that, yeah.
Stamp Addicts, and there's loads and sheets and all sorts of things. And what I want to do is, I like to this because it's usable, but if you notice there's something slightly different, can you see on my sort of, this one is the one I always think of as the cheeky penguin. With his sort of, this is the Adam penguin almost.
Yeah.
This is the cheeky one. But you notice that he's got no tummy
Oh, no.
as compared to yours. And the reason is, one of the things that I have really struggled with as a stamper, even with a stamp platform, is where there is a big area of nothing, I get bubbles sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah? So what happens is, I get bubbles. Let me put a piece of card in there and you can see it. So, and what I found was a couple of times when I was stamping it, I was actually getting a bubble in there, and it was like stamping a little bit of black ink in the middle of his tummy. And I thought, that happens to me a lot. Why? And I thought, because there's a big open space. So I took a pair of scissors and I cut his tummy out. There you go. But it's one of the best tips I can ever give you. If you look, watch, he's not lost any of his
No, he's
structure.
still rigid.
He's still rigid, he will still stamp, he will still work, but I've literally, you can see there where I went in with the scissors
Yeah.
and then cut his tummy out. So, you know, on this, if you find, you know, none of the girls had this problem, it was just me, but I'm not, I said to Julia earlier, I'm not the best stamper. I love doing it, but basically, yeah, so if you struggle on that, just take that big space out.
Good idea.
On these, it won't hurt it. So I need to make another mask. So I'm using, this is the Stays in Place alcohol ink. This is like your Stays On, but I find this one a little bit juicier. This is the matte black one from Couture Creations.
Oh, okay.
And it's really nice and juicy, and I'm actually stamping on plastic. So what I would actually do is just stamp it out like that, get the lovely clear image, and I wanted to show how easy it is to cut out. Now what you're supposed to do is put that on one side for a minute.
Let it dry.
And let it dry. But if you're like me and you've got absolutely no patience, you just get a bit of scratch paper and just press it off, basically.
That's like a drawing then.
Yeah. So, how easy this is to cut out. Now, when you're cutting a mask, cut on the line or slightly in.
Because that's...
Yeah. Don't worry if you get it wrong, because these are so easy. And this is what because we looked at these stamps and we said, look, should we do dies to go with them to cut them out? And we said, for the cost that people would have to pay, they are such easy shapes to cut out. And you can just stamp them and go for it. And I think sometimes if we did a die that just cut out this penguin shape, you couldn't use it for anything else.
No, that's true.
So it would actually more than double the cost of them with the die included, and all it would ever do is cut you out that stamp. So I wouldn't pay it.
No, it's not when they're this easy.
No.
Pam, thank you for your email. I will show that sample of card. I don't want you to switch over. I will show that card very soon that you want to see, and we'll ask John actually how it's made. So don't worry about that. I know. Stay tuned.
And if I don't know, I'll make it up.
I know you will know.
No, if I don't know, I will actually explain. I will tell you
Oh, yeah, it's
how I think it is, or I will say I don't, and I will tell you where to find out from. I will know who's made it.
okay.
So there we go. So really simple. Okay? Anyone can cut that out. But he just looks, he's like a cheeky one, isn't he? He really, really is.
Little mischief penguin.
So, yeah, definitely a mischief penguin. So, what I'm wanting to do is, I'm wanting to stamp now 3 penguins, okay? What I'm going to do is, you need to decide who's going in the front. So when you're doing this, so when you're actually creating a group of them, you think you stamp who's at the back first and work forward. You don't.
Start at the front.
You start at the front. So I want the present one to be in the middle, okay? So I'm going to pick him up. Now, as I'm using alcohol ink pens, I should be using Memento.
But you've left it in the car.
But I've left it in the car. I know where it is as well. It's in my bag on the passenger seat in the car. And I should have got it in between shows, but I didn't. I forgot because I've got a bad memory. So what I'm going to do is just stamp him first. And he's beautiful. And you see how I don't know if you can get into
Yeah,
this.
them little white marks.
There's little white marks. It's not, the stamp is not solid.
Makes sense.
It's designed to give you, there we go, can you see?
Yeah.
The original design is not completely coloured in black. And the reason for that is A, to give a little bit of difference, and B, so that if you're not the best stamper, you can get away with it. So it doesn't actually matter, but that is actually part of the design. So what I need to do now is I need to cover him up. So here's a mask I made. Again, use whatever tape you've got.
I didn't even realise. In theory, if you stamp in black ink, your penguin's coloured already.
Yeah. You don't need to do very much else at all.
Just got to glue his hat and his nose in.
So now I'm going to put, Adam's going to be stood behind him.
I like me.
On one side. Okay. So we'll just pick him up and ink him. Okay. Now what I would normally do, if I wanted to put more, I would obviously mask him off, but I'm not going to, so I don't actually need to mask him off. But take this off, okay? Don't worry. Yeah. But now I think I'd like to have another person behind him. But if you notice his scarf, this is what I like.
Oh, yeah.
If I put him there, if I put him like that there, try not to get the black mark, Julia would really shout at me now. But we'll try and cover that. You won't see his scarf because it'll be covered.
Just so you know, there are 6 minutes queues on the phones now. We have put another agent onto the phone. I've got them in on a Sunday. They were watching Poirot. I said, it's too late. You need to come in. I've got queues. So we've got 6 minute queues on the phones now. So we've got, if you can jump to the website or tap the app, that will be the quickest place to go to guarantee your order at the moment. We've also had a sellout on the show. Happy Hour, Sellout City, the happy hour at the back. This one has now gone. Another sellout that we're looking at there. No good looking at it, it's already gone. Right then, let's go back, jump to the website, tap the app if I was you.
Right, so I've got wet ink on this mask, and this is the biggest mistake that I used to make with masking. So if I start to peel that off, I'm going to get it on my fingers. So again, take a piece of scratch paper. I shouldn't be using this. And if you rub it well enough, it will make all of the pack shot, as they call it, fall down, so that Adam has to race about trying to find everything.
Molly.
But can you see here? It's taken an imprint. Look, that's where they actually meet. I'll do it that way up, look. They're actually holding hands.
Ah.
But it takes the ink off. So all I then do is just peel off. This is why I like using this. But can you see?
This is the magic bit, I like this bit.
It's reusable. So there we go. I'll turn it round the right way.
Look at that.
To me, they look different now.
Yeah, they do.
They look really, really different. So I would actually store that. You can see here on this is my Nellie Snellen stamp storage. So it works really well for holding the stamps and the covers. So there we've got him covered off. Now, I've got a bit of a black mark, haven't I?
You have? How are you going to cover
So
that?
how am I going to cover that? Well, I'll tell you what, in the smaller set of the penguins, when I find it, there we go, we've got a balloon. So I reckon that one can be holding a balloon.
Oh, and is the balloon solid?
No, but I can colour it.
Ah.
So I can cover it over. I mean, you could use the balloon and make it into like a, as Meg said, a nice lolly. But there we go. I've got the little balloon. I probably over-stamped that and over-inked it a little bit. But it doesn't matter because I'll colour it in and it will cover it. So, there we go. If I hold that one up, you can see
That's nice.
I get it in the right place.
That literally looks like a children's book.
Yeah, it really does. So, just take a pen. Can you draw a wobbly line?
I can.
Yeah,
I'm very
right,
good
okay.
at those.
Wobbly line. There we go. Wobbly line.
Oh, look. Oh,
Wobbly
here we
line
go.
from the feet. Oh, and a few little dots. And there is the snow.
Percy Penguin in The Lost Present.
Yeah, definitely. To them, this is my cheats way of, if you want to give them just a little bit of 3D, get a grey pen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything. Or a grey pencil. And just draw a line around. You see there? That's it. Just putting a little bit of shade onto it. There we go. And you could colour the beaks in sort of a yellow, because they are a yellow, aren't they? They're beaks, I think.
So, yeah.
Put a bit of glossy accents on, give them a little bit of a shine. But just around the shadow, and literally, suddenly to me, that's suddenly got a 3D. Take your grey pen and put some scribbles on where your lines are.
Look at that for a front of a card.
Okay. I'm going to colour half, like that, of the pom-poms. Again, just a light grey pen. I'm using, I think this is Greek white, it's called. But I'm not even going to the edge. You think like the cartoons?
Yeah.
Yeah? Let this balloon, that black, look. Let's just go halfway across that, shall we? And it's like a cartoonist would do. Yeah, really simply.
I love this.
We could even then, you can take your watercolours or anything else and start to add in, you know, colours for the present and colours for the scarves and things like that. But just as simple as going, so this is, remember the red I was using earlier? So this is the brush tip now, but this is just, so this is a plain light red, okay? Colouring over his scarf there, okay? I reckon this one
Imagine that in a frame.
will be wearing a green scarf, okay? So, and all I've done is the same again. I've grabbed a dark and a light green, a dark and a light red. I'll grab a dark and a light blue, okay? And I'm just going to give the ribbon, okay, a little bit of a bow. So simple colour, but you can see I'm genuinely not the best colourist in the world. But I'm trying, you see, I'm trying not to be. I'm missing areas.
It works though, like a
It
cartoonist.
works. It's like a cartoon.
Well, you're all right.
Excuse me, a cartoonist would do. This present, let's get a little bit of grey. But you see, I'm not trying to fill the space. And then I'm going to grab the darker red.
It's like a character.
Yeah.
Thing.
And just put, anyone can colour this, kids could colour this. See, just a little bit of darker red, a little bit of darker green. Don't try, just do.
I'm with you so far.
And that's
Okay.
enough.
Look at that.
Honestly, so hold that one up, but look. To
I like
me,
that. I love that.
it looks as if it's been a cartoonist or someone knows what they're doing. And I genuinely do not know what I'm doing. I don't. You've watched it.
We saw it from scratch.
Yeah,
we saw from
literally.
the mask.
Mask done from scratch. We're now, what? That was 10 minutes, if that?
You pop a sentiment on the top of that. Bosh, you're good to go.
You're done, full stop. And that's how quick a nearly nice, a really nice open stamp can be.
£53.96 is what you're looking at for these. And then imagine taking that image and popping that onto the front of your stepper card. Or doing your exploding box that you've got here. So you've got those beautiful exploding boxes. Then you've got the two large penguins. Whereas John just saw with those two large penguins, you can do so, so much. Why is it always the show that gets repeated? It's never the launch show this happens in. It is, and then you've got the littler penguins as well, so that you can make even more with those little penguins that you've got in there with the scarf. You've got the cheeky penguins. They could be headphones that he's listening to. So you could have music playing out of those.
Put some
Little music notes that are coming from them. So he's like a dancing penguin, disco penguin. Then you've also got your little penguin with the present and his little hat, but you could cut the bobble hat off and you could put it on top of this penguin. You could cut the bobble hat off of this one and put it on top of this penguin. You could cut the gnome hat off and put it on top of the penguin, should you want to. It would all work. Even these large hats would work with this one that you've got here. I'm going to attempt to do this. it would all work. It would all mix and match so well. And if you're a Freedom member, you are looking at today 2 flexible payments on this one of £24.28. Right, and this time I've got the penguin box up. I'm just pulling up boxes now, just to show you what you can do with the penguins. I showed you the gnomes in the first hour. This one. Pat, I've not forgot either. I will show this in a minute and we'll ask John. That'll be my next question. But let me show you some. Oh, look at these. Now we're talking. Look, oh, you've got a little waddle of penguins. You've got your little Noel in there. How nice do they just... Oh, there's something quite showbiz about them penguins that I like. Then you've got an open card. Let me just open... Oh, here we look at this, using John's non-glitter card that's glitter card that we're looking at in there. Using John's Christmas tree. Lovely. Oh, look at this for a birthday card. Using hexagons. Obviously, these are all penguins because this is the penguin box that we're going through at the moment. But there is so much that you are getting in. Just to see, how beautiful is that? And these. And the gnomes as well. Oh, look at that. I've got a rogue gnome card that's already in here. There is so many cards. But once you've got that die, hold the line caller. Once you've got that sets of dies, you can do things that look like this. Now, who was the email bomb? Pat or Pam? Pam's emailed in. She said, I've seen it on the edge of the counter. Can you show it me? We're live. Of course I can, Pam. I'll do anything for you. I've always said that. She wants to know how this has been made. So these are your nativity scenes that you've bought us in the past. How have you done this?
Right, I haven't. This is by Rashan, one of our design team, by Rocky, and I promised her it would go at the front because it's amazing. So, if you look at it, this is 3 of the Stepperfold cards glued together. Yeah. So 3 outsides glued together. The strip's going round, of course, of the strip at the front. Yeah. And what basically, I had got this prep for a demo with the village scenes from earlier, but what she's done is she's cut a strip of card for the front to 7 inches, and then she's put the scene dies on and cut them out and glued it on.
I love it.
And then what she's done for the inside is to use exactly the same. So she's used the tabs behind, yeah, and then she's actually cut bigger pieces to fit on. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make... So each one has got the same size, it's got the tabs inside, but all she's done is cut a bigger piece of card to fit over the front.
To fit over the front.
It's just amazingly clever, but genuinely so simple when you come to it. It really, really is.
It really, I'm just having a look now. But then sometimes she just use the actual bits in the middle
and just run the dies through and run the die over the top of it.
So that is actually what you would see there. So that is that. So this bit here.
She's run the scene die over the top of it.
She's run that. Look at that.
Cut it first and then cut the scene die over it. Same with the top one.
And if you turn it around, you'll see if I just hold that in front of the
Can you see the one with the angels floating? She's just cut the top one out of acetate.
That's acetate there. Look, you can see my finger through it. So that is that. So this one here is now been done in acetate because you're going to get this. Look, the moral of the story here. Look, and John's not a colourist. Look at that.
Well, that I've just done since you first mentioned it.
Oh,
that's how easy and quick these are to use, genuinely. And you know I'm not, like I say, I'm not a colourist. I've done the same technique there and just drawn a few musical notes on, so he's listening to his, we'll say Pete's, not Beats, headphones.
I love them. Yeah, little penguin Pete's.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like them, John. I love them. Of your one-day special, let's put that back at the front. Of your one-day special, 45% of the stock now has already gone. 45% of the stock. Remember, you're going to get that bonus papers. You're going to get that free download included as well. So it's worth having a little look at that. You're also going to get that free gift with whatever you purchase this hour. Remember, there is also, it's one per customer. It's a lucky dip. There's over 100 dies that you may get in charge of, that you may get when you get them home. They are absolutely beautiful. Something else, though, is your stencil sentiment dies. These work perfectly for the front of your card. If I take this card again, they work perfectly for the fronts of your card. So things like your Merry Christmas that's in there, wishing you a Happy New Year. They work perfectly well with these. These are your dies forms that you're looking at, and they just work. They really do just work. And the upside of these, John, is the fact that you have kept them separate, so we can interchange.
You can
where we want
interchange
to.
them with the sentiments in here. So you can do Happy and New Year and Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas. There's a bigger Christmas in there as well.
Yep.
We were talking the sentiments, weren't they?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not that I'm
sentiments, right.
messing about. I'm making a. It's not that I'm cutting. I just loved him, so I've cut him out, and I'm making a mat and layer for him now, with the dies in the set. But the idea as well with things like the wonderful, you can have a wonderful Christmas. I think we worked out there was something like 65 different combinations that you can make with it. But if you've got any of my other stencil sentiments, and there are still 2 more sets to come this year.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, these will tie in. What I've done is we've had them in, we've done them all. They were all done at the beginning of the year. We're dropping them slowly so that people don't have to get everything at once. I genuinely believe in that. So if you like the stencil sentiments, don't worry, it'll be a couple of months before you see the last lot. But these will tie in, so you'll be able to say, have a wonderful anniversary with this.
Oh.
If you got some of the others and you didn't get a happy, there's a happy in here. But you can put have a very, and then, you know, have a very wonderful, you know, anniversary, graduation, you know, you can mix them with all the previous sets to give you literally hundreds of combinations.
And there are hundreds of combinations.
Yeah.
I remember the book with these that there were, and there was more in the book, and to the point where I can't remember who made the book.
It was Jodie, Lindsay and Jane Roy made it.
They just got bored.
They got fed up.
They just got bored.
They
There
didn't
were
get
so
to
many
every
sentiments.
combination.
They filled an entire book of sentiments, and then there
We're
was so
talking an
many
actual
more.
A3 book.
Yeah, it was
Of
huge.
page after page after page.
And we just kept turning. There was Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas, this Christmas, that Christmas, Magical Christmas, Wonderful Christmas, Bright Christmas. They just went on and on and on and on, and they just got bored of cutting them out, so they stopped. But well worth having a little look, though. £14. There are so many combinations. And this one, £14.99, 735986 is your item number. We've got some little extras on the show. These are your little inks that we're talking about now. With these little inks that you're looking at, £12.99. Nice, necessarily not Christmas colours, but work well with the one-day special with your penguins and your gnomes that we've
They
got
will
on the
work
show.
perfect. You'll see tomorrow I'm making some amazing backgrounds with those. You can really work so well with them, and they're all pearl pigments.
They're lovely. Look at
So
them.
everyone is a pigment, which means it blends and gives you all the effects you get with a pigment ink. Every single colour in there has mica in it, so everyone is a pearl. So in there you've got your gold, you've got your silver, you've got your blue, you've got your purple. They make the most amazing nighttime scenes. I don't know where I've put the samples for those. I've got, just to challenge our Chris, there's a picture of the card I'm doing tomorrow, made with them.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. Don't know where the original card is. It should be somewhere, but
Tiny, tiny card.
you can see there, because I photographed the cards I'm going to make for demos.
Oh,
But
I
that's
thought that was
using
the
those
actual card.
inks. They blend beautifully. Sorry?
I was like, how has he got them penguins so small?
Because he's a photograph.
That's why.
Have you never seen any of my demo packs with a
No.
photo on top to show me what I'm supposed to be trying to
Literally,
make?
I'm standing here going, well, I know the penguins are small, but how did he get them that small? That's
Yeah, no, it's not shrink plastic, it's done that. But in here, you're also great for Christmas. You've got a gold, a silver, and you've got a platinum. You've got a bluey silver platinum. So fantastic for stamping your sentiments. If you haven't got the Kaleido for foiling, these are perfect for stamping for that.
I love these, love them a lot. I'm going to put the lids back onto these because I don't want them to dry out. So get yours while you can. £12.99 is what you're looking at. Something else that you might want to go for that will blend beautifully. These are your winter pollen. Now these, once again, if you missed out the pollen last time John was here, it's well worth having a little go with these because once again, winter pollen, they are your winter colours, but they are going to see you throughout the years as well. They're going to see, this is, oh look at these, these are full. Look at this. For your winter pollen. Now, this is not just pollen. This has got sand in. This has got all sorts.
It's made of different sizes and grades of sand and different colours. So you might think it's blue, but it's not a true one-tone blue. If you can see different shades in there and different sizes. So it gives you a real genuine look of pollen on a flower. Or it's brilliant in shaker cards and great to make icy backgrounds. But again, I'll be using that tomorrow. Adam's a little bit stuck, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
You're going to need the happy hour deal, I think, that we've got at 4 o'clock tomorrow for that.
Oh, have we
There's
got
something, I think it's 4 o'clock tomorrow's happy hour is really useful for putting things like that back in.
Tomorrow, remember, there's a different happy hour every hour as well. This happy hour has now sold out. So if you are watching, if you are my repeat viewers, if you're watching throughout the evening, good evening. We always leave you out. Good evening. I hope you're well, whatever time you are watching. If you're watching live now, it's 8:45 on a Sunday evening. But you might be watching early hours into the Monday morning as well. This is your pollen, though. £14.99. 648376 is your item number. Finally, your eyes inks that you've got. Tell me about eyes inks, John.
Yeah, well, what I will do is I was going to demo these at 8 o'clock now, but I will demo with these in the morning. What you've got in here is a mixture of ice and diamonds. So again, if you love glitter, but you don't want glitter that sheds, that goes anywhere, that touches anything, you want the diamonds because it is, again, these are permanent. Do you see it says toot surface? Permanent on every surface. So if you want a glittery T-shirt that is machine washable, the diamonds will work. So that can go onto any fabric and be machine washable at 30 degrees.
Oh, my word.
They say 40 degrees. I say do it as a delicate at 30.
Look at that. The colour that you're getting in there, though.
But when you start to work them together, it gives you the most amazing, easy backgrounds to make you look as if you are the most exceptional inker in the world.
Oh, I love them. £24.99. I had some of these earlier and they flew out the door. They sold out, in theory.
If you look through, there might be one with a window in it. Right, there we go.
Oh!
Yeah.
Sorry, I've not
That's
seen these yet.
to me. But doesn't that look as if I know what I'm doing with inking? That took less than 2 minutes to make that background and the bit for the trees.
Look at that. That is your Aurorus borealis right there.
And I coloured those gnomes, again, just with the 2 pen technique.
You're a
colour.
clever sausage.
I'm not a good colourist.
Right, I'm all yours till the end.
Okay, a card came through to me and the samples from Leslie. And I thought, that is just absolutely astounding. And it's something that anyone could do.
Okay.
So, first of all, I've got to show this. Look. That's what he looks like.
Oh, I like this. Look at him.
So that's cutting him out with the matte and layer die in the stepper set. But I really feel like you could buy that. But look, that's in your stepper. Yeah. You could do sort of like flick books with it and things like that, having dancing. But he's so funky. But I had to show you that, sorry.
No,
but this card was brilliant. And what Leslie had done, she'd literally, I mean, you've got it somewhere because there's so many samples. She stamped all 3 of the bigger gnomes.
Yeah.
And heat embossed it with black. I just used the Eyes Ink fine black powder, okay? Onto craft card, nothing harder. So you have never coloured in your life. You've got these stamps at home. You want to get a really amazing effect, but you're not great at colouring, yeah? And what you use is, or what I'm using, this is a Pergamano white pencil, which I think you'll have on the website. I think, you know, I bought this from Barbara at a show, I think, to be honest. So I've had this one years, but literally, all I'm going to do is scribble white on. That's it. Now, anyone, your mole could do this easily. I know you're getting quite good at colouring. Yeah, literally. Well, watch. I'm going to do his beard.
I'm just rummaging, see if I can find it.
There we go. Watch. Just literally scrubbing over the top. Okay, there we go. There's his beard done. Simple.
Oh, look at that.
There's his nose. Let's do his main body.
I like these.
And do his feet. Okay? And all I've done is done every other stripe on his hat, so there's a bit of difference. Put a little bit more on there, just for his hat.
He looks like the gnome from Christmas Past.
And lightly go over there. Yeah. Same. But can you see, I'm not trying to fill the space. I'm being sketchy. Yeah? Literally just filling in those spaces. Don't worry if you go over the lines, because I heat embossed it. But suddenly, doesn't that hat look 3D and like you'd see, you know, it really does
It
work.
also makes it look quite spooky. If you want to go quite Halloween-esque with
you
these
could
gnomes.
actually, you could do really well on Halloween on this. But just pressing on any white, I'm going to say I'm using a Pergamano, but any white pencil you've got, I'm just going to have to sharpen it.
Did you just hear that editorial that we just had?
I did, yeah, I just completely ignored
I
it.
did as well, but I'm going to
Yeah.
tell my viewer. My producer in my ear, so my producer, God bless her, she's the one that sort of feeds us little bits of tidbits and things she thinks of, she says out loud. 9 times out of 10 we ignore them. What she just said is...
I would say, knowing, I can hear them in my head as well, so I would say 9 times out of 10 you say exactly what she's telling you.
But she said, they look like creepy wizards.
But they could be great for Harry Potter type thing, but it will make sense at the end, I promise you. But you see where you've got him striped here?
Yeah.
Again, I'm just going through. Actually, I've got to say that one that Chris has just said. You put a guitar on here if you've got a guitar die or stamp and it's ZZ Top. But again, just going in. The hat here, again, I'm not colouring everyone. I'm just... But you see how I'm just going over? Like I said, your mole could do this.
She could actually.
A white pencil, straight over. Yeah, just like that. So again, on this beard, because it's a little bit bigger, let's just go down. So I'm not trying to fill everything, yeah. Just go a little bit at the bottom. Suddenly, again, it's got that 3D look. Let's finish him off. So there's our 3 sort of coloured wizards, or gnomes. But I think that just looks, to me, so cool. But take your pencil. Remember we did grounding before? Because I don't like them floating. They're on the snow.
I like the gnome with his hand in his pockets. I've only just noticed.
Yeah, he's kind of like, that's the me.
It's the hands in his pockets.
Constantly, that is always me.
I don't want to be a...
Yeah, I think that's you in the middle out there.
me in the middle.
But there we go.
Elaborate.
There's one.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to... I put the sentiment on because I forgot to stamp the sentiment on this one. Just put a little bit of snow around, a little bit of snow under the Merry Christmas. And then what makes this, and this is what I thought was so amazing of Leslie, is she matted and laid it onto just white and like a burgundy. Really simple. So a little bit of foam tape. Pick it up. There we go.
Oh,
Check the
This
fold.
is going to look lovely.
But there we go. And I'll hold this one up to the camera. But to me, anybody could do that.
That looks beautiful.
It's the framing that suddenly makes it look so right and getting the right sentiment on it. And literally, the one I coloured, just to show you, I've not, you know, I probably spent more time on this one I've done on air than I did on that one. But you can do that. And that's what I really want with these stamps is to say you can do them plain, but if you've never picked up a brush, a watercolour, an alcohol pen, a pencil crayon in your life, you can do this.
You really can, and I think you'll be able to. I think you'll surprise yourself.
Yeah.
In what you can do for when you get them home. Let me show you some samples to the end to what you can do with these, because you know what you're getting in your bundle by now. Let me show you some inspiration that you are going to get. So you're getting beautiful cards time and time again. Ho, ho, ho. Then you've got things like your little stepper card, but it was sort of a different stepper card that you've got. It literally looks like the panel of Blankety Blank.
It does.
You got one there.
It does.
The gnome version of Blankety Blank we're looking at.
Yeah.
And there is Lily Savage in the back, and then you've got the gnome.
Whereas I would go Snatch Game, and that's RuPaul in the back. But
I didn't want to say that.
yeah,
though.
I know, but you were thinking it. I know you were.
It is. It really is. It's like Mastermind for gnomes.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Is that our Hazel or is that Sheila?
That is Margaret.
That's Margaret.
Oh, I love
I
it,
would have put
Margaret.
money on that being either Sheila or... Well, that's brilliant. I really should say thank you to
No, go on, say thank
Margaret, Hazel, Jackie, Maxine, Archangel, Leslie, Sam, and I know Rocky. I know I'll have forgotten someone. I'm so bad at it, and these are really good friends and really close friends of mine as well. But thank you. They've just gone mad. I mean, we've got box after box.
We really have.
After box.
Well,
From
that's
Leslie,
nice.
I've had 3 deliveries. That is a brilliant one. That is one of our angels, Helen Jones. A lot of people will know Helen and know her cards. She only bought a Press to Impress when you and I did a show with it about 8 weeks ago.
Really?
She'd never stamped. She wasn't a stamper. She'd never coloured. This is her first attempt at stamping and colouring. And that's what genuinely makes me feel, yeah.
And that one as well? That was
one
hers as well?
That was one of hers. So these were her first attempts at stamping and colouring. And that's what I mean. You can, if Helen can do it, who was really, she said to me, I'm so scared of stamping and colouring, then anyone can.
Oh, well done, Helen. They are beautiful. They all are. The whole gang. The whole gang that there. We've got a minute left to go. Now nearly half the stock. Half the stock. I've got loads more as well. Over nearly half the stock of your one-day special now has already gone. I've only got a minute left of this hour. Start checking out your baskets if I was you. If you are watching on repeat over the evening, first of all, good evening or good morning, wherever you are. If you like it, I'd get it. I don't think it's going to. I've not even told you, once this is gone, this is gone. This is one of those deals.
Oh, yeah, there's no more in reserve.
There's no more stock. We should have really told you that in the launch hour, and I didn't tell you then. I forgot to tell you this hour as well. Once this is gone, this is gone. There is no more reserve stock. There's no more magical phone calls on this one. So if you like it and you want it, get in quick. Remember, you're going to get your free gifts included as well. You're going to get a lucky dip of over 100 dies. You might get one of those dies. You're also getting your free PDF file that will be sent to you. And in theory, you're also getting your sentiment stamps for free as well. Your details, £24.28 across 2 interest-free flexible payments. If you're a Freedom member, 723253 is your item number that you are going to need. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Mr. Adam.
Oh, I don't know who you're on with tomorrow morning.
Have I not got you again?
No, I'm off now. I'm off to Wednesday.
That's terrible. Oh, it's your long week. And it's your short week.
My short week. I'll be watching, though.
Excellent.
I'll be there with my Lucky Charms in the morning.
Yes.
Eating and watching.
I really wish that we'd got an extra set so you could do some colouring with these tomorrow, because I know you're itching to.
I'm going to buy them. I am going to buy them. I just didn't have time. I was eating my pot noodles during the break and chatting. Don't you go anywhere. I've got games next.